Hey everybody, welcome back to another Nerds in Squares podcast episode presented by bpfun. I'm your host with the most, Captain Zeus, followed by my lovely guests and co-hosts, Novaburst and Relatable Panda. Your
How's it
favorites.
going, y'all?
Today,
Howdy.
we got ourselves a magical episode, if you will. Thank you. It's a little bit late to the party here. We all kind of have busy schedules, but we're going to discuss the Harry Potter reboot. I know we've all been so excited about it.
I'm just gleaming with excitement.
I'm so
That's actually what he normally
happy.
looks like.
Hey now.
I'm so happy. This is totally not fake.
Help me.
They're not forcing me to be here.
So, for those of you that don't know, the film series started in, I believe, 2001. It lasted about a decade, ended in 2011 with Deathly Hallows Part 2. Film series was amazing, although it did differ from the book in various ways, leaving out certain tidbits and characters and character developments. It still became, a fan favorite and beloved, even if you aren't a huge Harry Potter fan. And then the hype really got revamped up with the Fantastic Beasts movie, the first one, and then the amazing sequel, Crimes of Grindelwald, with Johnny Depp's outstanding performance. Although the hype did die down very, very quickly with the underwhelming failure of an addition to that franchise with The Secrets of Dumbledore, right after Warner Brothers decided to get rid of Johnny Depp for things he didn't do. And then the hype was once again revamped with the release of the game Hogwarts Legacy, which, in my opinion, was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. So, I mean, that's kind of been the history of it. They did a little reunion, like a 20-year reunion, I think,
Yes,
for
they
HBO
did.
Max, like 2 years ago, something like that, with most of the original
I
casting.
thought it was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Okay, last year then. But they had a good amount of the cast there. Unfortunately, we've had various cast members die. Both actors for Dumbledore, I believe, have passed away. Severus Snape's actor passed away. Hagrid's passed away. So a lot of them have been passing on into the magical realm. And, it's not the time, in my opinion, to reboot it when the hype is not only still alive and fresh in everyone's mouths, but there's still so much to explore. When you're expanding it into the prequels with the Hogwarts Legacy game as well as the Fantastic Beasts movies, I don't think it's a time to just all of that is nope, we're just going to reboot the whole thing. And for those of you that don't know, they're rebooting the entire Harry Potter franchise into the TV series that was announced on April 12th, 2023, which was this year. And the series is going to take place over the next decade. Each season is going to be a book from the hit series. So season 1's Sorcerer's Stone, season 2 is Chamber of Secrets, so on and so forth. J.K. Rowling will be working with the showrunner as an executive producer on the show. There's no word as to whether or not the original cast is going to be making an appearance or, as a cameo or be a part of the main series, although everyone would love for them to be a part of it, especially since they're at the age to be professors of some sort. One thing, too, that I noticed, and a lot of others have noticed, the logo, castle, and the music from the teaser of this reboot is all the exact same from the movie series. And so, it's a hint that they're just really trying to capitalize on the nostalgia of the original movie series. Me personally, I do not think this is needed whatsoever. I literally just got done rewatching the movies like with Nova like a few weeks ago, and they still hold to this day, especially with the last two, the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2 that ended a little over a decade ago. And I've always had this issue with Hollywood where if they run out of ideas, they just reboot stuff. Like this series was just done fairly recently compared to most series that are getting rebooted, and they're still adding on to it, and yet they decide to reboot into a TV series as well. It's just a money grab at this point. Like it's not even about the fans. I'd say most of the fans are not for this, although a lot of them are excited that they're going to try to stay true to the books, which is the point of the series. But at the same time, it's like It's not needed. It's really not needed. That's just me. You guys can take it over. I don't want to talk the
You
whole
have to
time.
choose which one of us.
Yeah.
You both looked like you wanted to say something. We'll go with Nova. How about that? Since you want to open his mouth. Cool.
Choose right. Oh no. Oh,
Damn.
so don't worry, we'll get best for last. Best for last.
It's me again.
Um, so I do find it to be an interesting take for it to be a TV series instead of the movies. Like I said, I always say it actually, when you do movies, you don't got a lot of time to like flesh things out that you want to. Thus why we, skip out on character development, characters in general and stuff like that. So I think doing the TV series, I think they get the opportunity now to flesh out characters, bring in more details and stuff. So I actually like it to be a TV series. Um, but here's the but though.
Here's the butt.
Um, I kind of agree with you that I feel like it's too soon. Too soon. I mean, literally just got game came out what like a year ago or this year
This
or
year,
this
the game
year.
came out in like February.
Yeah, just got this game. I'm like still kind of riding on this nostalgia. Like, I mean, people still be doing like Harry Potter movie marathons like throughout the year. They're like, you know what? Harry Potter movie marathon. You know what I mean? I think it's just still fresh with everyone. Like especially the cast and stuff like that. So to just be like, all right, we're gonna what's it called? Just restart or whatever.
Just
It kind of it it just puts a bad taste in my mouth. Like I don't hate it because like I would like to see this new, you know, take they want to put into the series,
mhm.
but at the same time, it's kind of like spitting in their face, like like thanks for the 11 years, and then
How do you like this
you know,
taste?
yeah, you know what I mean, like
Tastes like money.
basically. I mean, I feel like they're also trying to grab towards I feel like this younger generation or like I guess this generation in general, like they just gotta make reboots for them. Like what's it called? Like people had their Harry Potter back then. Here's y'all's Harry Potter. And I don't know, I've been seeing that a lot lately with like now they're just rebooting everything and making it for like here's y'all's version of this show or this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they kind of twisted to fit this kind of like generation and how people be watching and streaming shows lately now. But I mean, that's my take. I'm in between. I'm on the positive side because I want to see what they can do, but and the negative side is because of like kind of a corporate standpoint in which
Money,
you
money, money,
know
money, money.
we can kind of see through them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
It is
that's
Warner
why.
Brothers after all. I mean,
Yeah.
Panda, what
You,
you got?
you, you're
Oh,
going ahead.
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What's up, man?
No, I mean, and then like you were saying earlier, man, with just like the announcement, they're just like, remember this, and it's like, you just play the same
Yeah.
music, like
Yeah.
It's
you
like,
know what
oh
I
my
mean?
gosh, we're getting more Harry Potter movies. Well, no, it's a rebooted show. But what about the theme and the castle and the logo? It's all the same. Yeah, yeah.
It'll be there. It'll be in the show. Go watch it.
And I
Go
think it's
watch it.
the logo's the same. I think it's because it's the exact same from the books, and that's fine. But I mean, when you have the theme from the movies, that I feel like that's a big spit in my face, or
They
in anyone's face who grew up watching the movies.
should have remixed it or something,
They'd probably
or
it'd be
completely
like a trap remix to fit this generation. It'd be all
yeah.
garbage.
Uh, Yeah.
Yeah,
Wizards,
uh,
magic.
uh, words, drugs, alcohol, cuz magic. Uh.
Harry
it's
Potter.
like it's like the Key and Peele sketch where it's the American wizarding school. That's what it would
Oh
be.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
All right, Panda, what do you got? What's your
And
take on this?
I mean, I see y'all's points. I see the good in it. I see the bad in it, but
Do you see the ugly?
I do see the ugly as
Okay.
well. And we're gonna dive into the ugly part of this right now because I have no hope for this.
Wow.
I mean, reason being is because I don't know. I think what they're trying to do here by having the logo, the castle, and the music is just to get the cash grab, like you said, and get the older generation to get hate views because hate views do boost
Oh.
numbers as well. And if you're not familiar with what I'm referring to, look at Velma.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
yeah,
That show was
Velma
so
did the exact
garbage.
same thing. They held on to the nostalgia of the past with the Mystery Inc. crew, but changed it very drastically just to get the hate views.
And now it's getting a second season.
Exactly. So Warner Brothers is doing the same thing. The other ugly part about it, and I know this is a very not a lot of people think it's an ugly side, but it kind of is to other people. A lot of the main cast will not be returning probably because of J.K. Rowling and because of everything that's happened there. But that's all that needs to be said about that. The other ugly part about it is none of this was wanted or needed. And this is nothing more than, again, a cash grab, an attention seeking thing like, hey, look at us. We're trying to beat every other streaming platform. We have this, nobody else has it.
That is true.
And while the game has done a lot of good for the uh, Hogwarts and Harry Potter community, I feel like the game is just going to be overshadowed by this, which is going to hinder it in the long run.
Well, that's if they even decide to do anything with the game. Because if unless
Exactly.
like if this game's like their starting point in their new like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you'd call it universe for Harry Potter
Basically,
cinematically, then it's be like their starting point.
Wizarding World.
Yeah, but if they're using
Uh,
it and connected with the movies and that have already come out, then yeah, it's probably or it's just like not a part of it. It's the whole multiverse thing, which it's not something that they should do considering the Harry Potter verse. Like there is an extensive world that they can explore. I don't think splitting into different
exactly.
timelines or universes will be good for them. But I mean, there's a multitude of different avenues they could go in regards to the game's connectivity to the show.
Yeah. And then again, like the only way that this show and these seasons would work is if they do stick to the contents of the book itself, like it's being rumored that they are going to do. Because yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't like the movies because they didn't dive into the books and characters in the books.
Like Ginny, for example, garbage in the
Exactly.
movies. I hated her.
So the series can save some face as seasons go by introducing those characters and their arcs that we miss. So there is some good in that because they have room to explore and delve into different characters. But at the same token, this wasn't needed again. Like it's too soon. We're what the last one was in 2011.
Yep.
We're in 2023. They could have waited a few more years to do this.
Honestly, they should have waited at least another decade. I would have understood. 20 years after the series ended. I mean, technically, if you want to be real, the Fantastic Beasts movies, the last one was in what was it last year?
21.
The year before, 21.
It was 21, I
Yeah,
think.
and that's part, and
It
that's
was 10
literally
years.
a part of the movie franchise. So if and
Yeah,
it's building the lore of the world, and like
exactly.
you're rebooting it. It it's weird because I've heard that it's also supposedly like separate. Like it's just
It's
gonna stay
supposed to be,
true
yeah.
to the books, but at the
Mhm.
same time, that's not how they're pushing it or advertising. Like it's a reboot,
Correct.
is what they're saying, or
Correct.
I
And if
guess
it's
a
a reboot, you
remake.
need to have a completely different theme behind it. You can't be using the logo. Okay, like you said, the logo I could give a pass to because it's in the books as well, and there's not really much you can do to change that up. But like music wise, you need to do a different score. You can't do the same score as you did in the movies because it's not a reboot anymore. It's a continuation at that point.
Unless like an original member comes in and they'll have like a tidbit of that theme when they
The
like introduced or something.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
the only OG cast member that I can see is Draco Malfoy.
Imagine he's Snape. I think he could
I
play a
could
pretty good
see
Snape.
him. I can see him being a part of it because I mean, look at how much he's still attached to everything Harry Potter.
That's true.
You think in recent times, right? In recent times, you think Harry Potter, the first actor that'll probably come up to people that don't really know the original cast is who? Tom Felton.
I'd probably say Neville.
It could be Neville too, but I normally see Tom having to do with everything Harry Potter.
Yeah, he's
So
definitely been way more involved in the universe for sure. And I mean, it's hard not to be. It's such a great universe
exactly.
to be a part of and to want to explore in. Like, yeah, it's fine that the actors branched off and left it aside, tried to make a name for themselves, and he did the same. I mean, he's appeared
Yep,
in various movies. He's also appeared in The Flash. It's he's done pretty well for himself, but he's definitely a
definitely.
fanboy. So it'd be nice to see him a part of the series again.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean that's my take on it. Just not going to be good all around. It's going to be poorly rated and yeah.
I think like it's going to get a lot of views. And the only reason is like you said, hate views. It's going to get a lot of hate views, but at the same time the hate views depend on what our first trailer is going to be, who the cast is going to be. And my concern is what they're going to do with this series is what they're doing for the Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus. Cuz the Disney Plus one, they're recasting white characters as black. And I don't mean like, oh, it's vaguely understood. I mean blonde hair, blue eyed characters as black characters. And it's nothing wrong with recasting races, but when you're trying to do a book adaptation and it gives you a description of the character, there's no need to change it. There's really no need to change it. Especially when it's something that we previously had a movie series on. So we already have a somewhat of a visual representation of what these guys look like. And there's books and arts of these characters as is. And it's not like
Yeah.
there's no black people in Harry Potter or in, Percy Jackson. There's black people in there. We've seen it.
It's just you got to remember too, and this is I was just having a conversation with somebody about this too. It's the times that we live in now,
I don't give a crap about the times we
and
live in.
producing studios and whatnot, and all these big productions are trying to please cancel culture so they don't lose out on anything. Which is really a dumb way to go about it. You cannot just appease to one mass. You need to follow. If you're doing a book adaptation, like you said, the script is there
Yeah,
and everything is there laid out in front of you. If you're doing a remake to a popular movie, the script is there.
exactly.
Why, you know what I mean?
Like, there's no need
And
to recast people when we already know what they look like from the book descriptions,
exactly,
the official illustration of the characters, and previous representation of them in the movies.
exactly. And so that's where a lot of these studios go wrong, in my opinion. But
I mean, that's usually what happens. But
yeah,
then it also comes down to like it's still going to be a remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it, and a lot of people are going to hate it because of the
mhm,
fact of it's just too soon. Like
yeah,
why is I don't get it, man. I just got done watching those freaking movies like not too long ago, man. Oh,
exactly. And that was what your how many time watching it?
I've seen it so many times. But you know what I think it is? I don't
Hmm.
think this TV series would be happening if the Fantastic Beasts movie series was successful. The first one was great. Everyone loved it. No issues with it. The second one was an amazing sequel. Johnny Depp did an amazing performance, like I mentioned
Hmm.
earlier. But when they not only recasted him, but they had a very lackluster script for the third movie, I think that was like the last straw in a sense. Like, I mean, in addition to Warner Brothers not having the same viewpoint as J.K. Rowling, but yet they still worked with her. Obviously, professional courtesy or whatever. But like the third one was a very disappointing movie. And I think with that and a lot of the backlash people are getting from JK, like I guess that they thought it was a good idea to reboot it, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean they could also just be running out of originals because Last of Us just finished up here. I think the Golden or the his Dark Materials are is done. I think season 3 is done. Like Succession's ending. A lot of their originals are ending, or like we won't
Yeah,
get another season for a long time, kind of thing. So I think it does also
true.
come down to the whole like running out
They're
of
lacking
ideas,
ideas.
which is crazy. You would think that Hollywood, the mega mind behind anything cinematic, would run out of ideas. But I guess it also comes down to like when they just pump out content, like way too much content. Like I think the peak of that was like COVID, when we were just getting
Mm.
so many movies and shows like left and right,
Yeah.
and it was just too much.
You have to remember too, and I think this has a part to effect with it as well, but there are a good chunk of writers in Hollywood right now that are actually on strike
Oh yeah, that is true.
due to wages and whatnot. So again, I don't know how long that's been going on. I don't know if that's more recent or if that
That's
was
very
taking
recent.
place at the time that this was announced or thought of. But maybe there were some rumblings about this strike happening back when this was announced and back when they drew this up. Because if you don't have the writing staff that's going to back you, you need to go with something that you already have source material for. So that way you
Valid
have
point.
incompetent writers who don't know what they're doing it because the good writers are not getting paid what they deserve.
Well, that and you also have the author as an executive producer there too. So they'll probably
Yeah.
be piggybacking off of her, and I'm sure she's going to add some things into the series that wasn't added into the books, for
Mhm.
expanding the universe, which is fine. I mean, I think that's she's been trying to do that for a while is expand that universe because I mean again
Yeah,
there's a lot to cover. Like we've
there
only
is.
the main series took place in like the 80s 90s, like we didn't get anything before then except for
Correct.
Fantastic Beasts, which was like World War II era.
Yes.
Yeah, which is like what,
Yeah. Uh,
1920s.
I'm
I
I'm
was
not a historian.
no 30s. I think it's 30s and 40s. I think that's
Let
where
me
World War II started, somewhere around there. I don't know. No, but what are you thinking here?
What do I think about World War II?
Not World War, not World War II. The Harry Potter situation, man.
Oh,
Jesus. So real quick, 1939.
I was okay. I'll take that.
I
Thank you,
mean,
Google.
Thank you, Google.
I don't know what else to add. I mean,
We all laying our opinions out there on the table. Is that what's happening?
See,
Is there
I mean,
anything
I'm
you're
stuck in the middle.
you're still in the middle?
I'm Malcolm in the middle.
You're Malcolm
Yes.
in the middle.
gotcha.
You're not the middle by Jimmy Eats World.
No,
I
I'm not.
just
Okay,
take some time.
it does take a little time. So I
Okay.
mean, besides the general sense of the characters that we missed and the character development that we missed, is there anything specific you guys would be excited for this series?
Uh, Again, I would just, for me personally, learning more about the existing characters that we already have.
Anyone in particular?
Right. As dumb as this may sound, I kind of want to delve into Hermione's backstory a little bit more
That is dumb. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
because
I
I mean,
hate that.
coming. I mean, she's Muggle born
Mhm,
and she has powers nobody else in her family has.
mhm.
Like, what made her so special that she developed this gift? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And how did she discover that she had this gift? How did it affect her life before she got to Hogwarts, kind of thing?
Okay.
I feel like that would be a good way to do something with her to make her more than just a arm piece to somebody kind of thing. Which in the movies, she was the smartest one of the three,
Accurate.
but it felt to me personally, it felt like she was just there to be arm candy to Ron.
That's disrespectful. Emma
I
Watson ain't nobody's arm candy.
exactly, which is why I did not care for the portrayal of Hermione in the movies because I felt like they weren't doing her justice.
For me, I had that same opinion, but with Ginny. Because, like, Ginny in
Yeah.
the books was actually dope as heck. And she actually had a personality, which is great. You know, you need a personality. But, like, in the movies, she was so bland, so boring. She was just there. I never understood why Harry went with her. I was like, dude, you and Hermione
I
are literally perfect for each other in the movies. You and even freaking Cho. I forgot her first name, but
no,
what's her face? Cho.
no, no, no,
Yes.
no,
Don't you hate on
no.
Cho? Cho is
I
so yes.
no, no,
Oh, I
no.
stepped on a landmine there. Watch out! It's the Cho landmine. What?
No, damn,
What you hating on my
Ginny.
girl for?
Look, I'm still saying this, and I'll stand by this. I do think the reason for the Harry and Ginny is a love potion.
That's dumb. I don't think that.
I
Are you
I
talking about
think
like the
that's the
movies?
case.
Like the movies?
The movies.
I mean, that would make sense. She has no personality.
Exactly.
Oh man.
So
Yeah. I'm interested to see if they'll dive into some of those previous relationships, like Hermione and what's his face, Victor Crumb.
yes,
Like how I believe it was she rejected him like three, or he asked her three times to go to the ball, and she finally said yes because Ron didn't go. Like, you know, those
yeah,
little things that we didn't get to see in the movies, and maybe a little
exactly.
bit more of Harry and Cho's relationship before she betrayed them. When she really didn't betray them on purpose, she was forced
She
to.
she got hit with truth serum.
Exactly. Like, you can't hate
It's
on
a
truth
cop
serum.
out.
You know what? You are such a Cho hater.
No
Go.
matter what, it's still F Professor Umbridge.
Oh my gosh. She was
I hate her.
the one thing too about the movie series, and I know this is a little bit off tangent. We're gonna get to you in a second, Nova. But like the villains and the antagonists were portrayed so well. The actor that played Voldemort, I can't envision anyone else to have
Oh
a
no,
portrayal as good as him. Same thing
no.
with the guy that played Dumbledore. Even the first actor before his untimely passing, unfortunately. Both of them played Professor Dumbledore perfectly fine
Yes.
in their own unique way, and I preferred the second Dumbledore personally. Umbridge as well. She was portrayed by an amazing actress who knew how to make people hate her. Like Severus Snape. Oh my gosh, he was such a good character. Like there were so many great portrayals by these amazing actors that I don't think we're going to see again. And it's going to be hard because those portrayals are going to be stuck in our minds because of how soon it was.
Yeah.
Like we're going to keep comparing them to them.
Standards were set and that bar is high.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Except for Ginny. That bar doesn't exist. I'm a Ginny hater right now. I'm a movie only Ginny hater. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, but back to you, Nova. Sorry, I went a little tangent there, but anything specific you're excited for about the series?
Well, before specifics,
Mm-hmm.
I am a chill hater. I don't.
What the frick? What is
I'm
wrong with you
sorry.
guys?
Yes.
She was just there.
She
I
had no
mean,
personality, bro.
She
yeah,
had more personality than
No,
Ginny.
no,
Get out of here.
no.
She had a
Okay, no.
personality. At least she was there. She did stuff.
but like,
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't see her with
Moving on
like,
from
Harry. No,
Y'all some freaking
no.
Cho haters. What the
how
heck?
can it's Nova's turn. I'm gonna let him go.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna stay quiet.
I can't stand the Cho hate, bro.
The chill hate.
Shouldn't have
Joe
moved on to
hate.
Harry that quick.
Yeah,
Whoa, hold up a second. We mean quick. It was a whole year after what's his face's death that she's finally opened herself up to this guy to maybe get a little smooch.
you mean to tell me that just because he invited me to the ball means I have to be with him?
She had they were okay. Look, Goblet of Fire. There was obviously a little something between the two. Why else would he invite her to the ball? Why else would she be so tragically hurt by his death? I mean, again, movies didn't dive into like their relationship that much. And I don't remember the books that well because I only read them once in 5th grade. But like, dude, there was obviously a little something, something there. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been so heartbroken about it. And Harry was heartbroken
Was
too.
she really though?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be on this show hate? I will defend show right now. All right, I am defending her. But can we get off the show hate for a second? All right.
We can get off the Chohei.
Golly, where's this for Ginny hate? Okay, I ain't seeing none of this activity from you guys for the Ginny hate. What the heck?
Anyways,
Ridiculous.
I love the dead silence.
I really want to get into more. Personally, for me, whenever I watch like the Harry Potter series, I was always fascinated with the actual castle and like the ghosts and like the paintings and everything that just
Mm.
existed inside the castle. So I would really like them to go more like detail into them, like some of their backstories, stuff like that, and like more character development with some of the ghosts that we get to see. I mean, we get some interaction with some ghosts because
Mhm.
it's part of the story, stuff
Yeah.
like that in the plot. But I mean, there's some ghosts that like we just get a glance of. Like in the movies, they kind of just like glance over to be like, "Oh, beautiful castle," and then like that's
Wow.
all we kind of get of it. You know what I mean? I kind of like in like when you're playing Hogwarts Legacies, like you can actually like walk around and like inch by inch like look around the castle. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
the movies and stuff, and like in the books, you could try your best to imagine what it looks like, but I would really like to go more into detail about like the castle itself, the paintings, the ghosts that live within there. Like I really like that.
I can see that. Now, this is just a question because I'm foggy to remember this. Do we know how Nearly Headless Nick became Nearly Headless?
I don't think they said it in the movies, but I again I can't recall if they did in the books. I would assume as
Okay.
much. Um,
Because
but
if not, I would love to see that.
you want to see how his head got nearly chopped off?
I would love to learn how that happened.
I was like,
Like,
let's clarify here.
I would love to learn how that happened.
You know, one character that's in the game, Hogwarts Legacy, that was not in the movies but is in the books?
Who?
The ghost Peeves.
I haven't encountered Peeves yet.
Jeez.
I hate him in the games. Gosh, he's annoying. He also
I
freaks
do
me
know
out.
of Peeves. He was kind of like almost like a
Yeah.
jester-esque, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the books. He's not in the movies. And the
I
thing is,
know.
they casted him. They had a actor casted for Peeves in the first one. Supposedly, it was some famous British comedian, and they already
Mhm.
did some lines with him. And if I recall correctly, they had some of his scenes shot, but then they cut it all out and they never had him back. So Peeves was supposed to be in the movies, but they cut it out.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna get to see
I know a
that.
lot of people were upset about that too.
Yeah, a lot. There was a lot of ghosts that didn't make an appearance or was really expounded upon. Same thing with like the paintings as well. And
Yeah.
like you said, I mean, there's just so much to explore with that world and inside the castle, even the beasts as well. Like I feel like there's
Mhm.
there's more, or at least more to see with the ones that we have seen,
Yeah.
if that made sense. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously our opinions are coming from people that have either only watched the movies or have watched the movies and read the books, but the books
Yeah,
a while ago, and I'm the latter for sure. But I,
definitely.
I'm, it's gonna be so hard to not compare the series to the movies,
Exactly.
and I think that's the biggest issue is trying to compare because I'm kind of I'm kind of in the same space as Nova a bit. I'm kind of in the middle. Not Malcolm in the middle. I'm more of
Not
Jimmy
Malcolm.
Eats World in the middle right now.
Gotcha.
But you know, I'm interested to see what we can see, what happens. Although I am fearful of the casting choices that they'll do. You know, them trying to replicate the movies. Like I don't want to copy and paste.
Gotcha.
granted, again, if you're just doing it straight from the book and you're not referencing the movies, then I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be successful. One thing too that's a little bit of a comparison is Golden Compass. I don't know if you guys remember watching that movie. It came out in like 2010 or something.
I do with the polar bear.
The polar bears, yeah, great movie. That movie is part of a book series. It's called His Dark Materials. HBO rebooted that. The first season was the Golden Compass. Second season was the second book. Third season was the third book. Did the same thing they did with Harry Potter, except the His Dark Materials was actually successful and very beloved because it was very true to the source. So it's not like they don't have a track record of being successful in that avenue of the source material. Although it's also weird because His Dark Materials came out like almost 10 years apart, maybe a little bit over 10 years apart from Golden Compass as well. So it's a weird similarities there. They wait 10 years and then they'll do a series reboot, but they only use the books.
Gotcha.
I think it's fine, but at the same, I think it's fine if the movie wasn't successful.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because like, take Catwoman. The movie was garbage. If you did a series on Catwoman, no one's gonna complain. I mean, unless you make her black and then just have it all like the movie was. But if you're doing it from the source of the comics, it's fine. Again, that's just a comparison. Reboots for the past, I'd say, decade and a half have been very common. We brought this up and talked about it earlier, but they're running out of ideas. At the same token, a lot of these reboots are better than the originals or more successful. For example, Dune. Dune was rebooted, what was it, 2 years ago? The original movie came out in the 80s, though. The original movie was not as well received as this one was, to say the least. But because of the success of that reboot, they did part 2 because it's part of the same book, and then they're going to, I would assume, continue with the book series and just continue with that. And that also came from Warner Brothers, So it's a weird situation. Like instinctively, I'm like, no, I'm all against this. I don't like it. But then, like, the more I think about it, I'm just like, well, like, I mean, there's a lot of things good. There's a lot of good that can come out of this. But I'm afraid of, I suppose, the agenda that Warner Brothers has when it comes to a lot of these series that they do. And like, I don't want them to ruin it, especially not Harry Potter. I don't want them to ruin it. Fantastic Beasts, first great movie, second amazing movie. They ruined itself with the third one. It's a big disappointment. Hogwarts Legacy was able to put a mint in my bad mouth breath. You know what I mean? It was able to put the flavor back.
Gotcha.
But I'm very torn. I mean, Nova's pretty concrete in the middle. You're very concrete against, but I mean, you got some signs of moving over to the light side of the Force. I'm very torn. I'm freaking Anakin in this situation.
Like you said, it has some potential, but I don't see it being successful. I really don't. I mean, again, they're just gonna cling on the nostalgia of it. They're gonna be referencing the movies every second they get a chance to.
Will they though?
To be seen.
I mean, they said they're going to be using the books as the source material. So if that is the case,
I think they're going to try to
go ahead.
Stay away from the movies.
Yeah, I would expect them to stay away from the movies.
I don't think they would want to connect themselves. If anything that would connect themselves to the movie would be maybe a cast member.
Yeah.
Other than, I don't think they would want to like
taint it.
Try to make similarities to something that is already successful, because then when you start doing that, then you start comparing and contrasting, and that's not good if you're not doing good, because you're gonna get bad reviews. So I think if they try to make it their own thing, just stay with the like books and stuff like that, and not compare themselves to the movies or anything like that, I think they should be fine.
Yeah.
But only time could tell. So
exactly.
I mean, we don't have a release date. We don't know when this will come out. I'm assuming it'll come out next year, though. or the year
Probably.
after, somewhere in the next 2 years, to be
I'm
honest.
saying like 25, 2025,
It's the year after.
like early 20, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. I'm thinking 2024 earliest, latest 2025, somewhere around then.
Potentially, yeah.
Considering they just announced it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, you know what? Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Let us know your opinions on the movie series, on the Fantastic Beasts series, the game. Let us know about the game. We got some gameplays of that on our Block Party Gaming channel. It's not finished, but I finished the gameplay on my channel, Captain Zeus. So you can definitely check that out.
I'm
I know,
barely playing it, so
yeah, Panda's playing it on his Twitch channel. It's very fun game. Movies are great. Check them out on HBO Max or Max, I guess, because they rebranded their name. And
yeah.
let us know. You know, what do you guys think about this TV series? How do you guys feel about this whole shenanigans and these reboots? Let us know. And you know, we'll be back. We'll be back for another episode. Don't you worry. I don't know if it's Harry Potter, but we'll be back. We'll be back. I'm Captain Zeus. That's Nova, Panda, loveliest of the nerds and squares, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.